But that lady, that new press secretary, she's a
that video, dude.
She's a gangster. They're prepared. And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated them.
She came in there with that Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Boom. It finally happened, Karoline. The sharp-tongued political powerhouse, loud, unapologetic, and a rising force for free speech, just hit The View with a jaw-dropping $500 million defamation lawsuit. And guess what? The media darlings are losing it like someone just spilled red wine on their designer rugs at a Hampton brunch. $500 million, baby. When you drag someone's name through the mud on national TV like it's your personal playground, don't be surprised when they clap back with a lawsuit big enough to bankrupt.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah. I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Love her or hate her, Karoline isn't here to play softball. She's lighting up the tired media circus and shining a spotlight on what The View has become. A roundtable of rehearsed outrage and designer label drama. She's not just challenging the hosts. She's calling out the entire show like it's an overdue.
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show, and it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wait.
She's had enough of the phony moral outrage, the smug jabs, and the blatant double standards. Just because she has ties to Trump or refuses to back down doesn't mean she deserves to be dragged on air like it's open mic night at a smear campaign. Karoline's coming with receipts, naming names, and firing back hard. She's not just defending herself, she's making a statement, then boom. In walks Joe Rogan, the internet's bald truth teller with a black belt in both jiu-jitsu and common sense, straight from his podcast throne where nuance still has a pulse. Joe saw the media storm brewing and didn't even blink. He sniffed out the playbook instantly. Just another tired move by legacy media to silence anyone who dares to think differently. Meanwhile, over at The View, the hosts clutch their coffee mugs like stress balls, tossing around labels like dangerous, with the same depth as a teenage horoscope. It was all vibes, zero substance, like a bad BuzzFeed quiz, but with more makeup and fewer facts.
But that lady, that new press secretary, she's a gangster.
That video, dude.
She's a gangster. Have you seen that video?
You've never seen someone more prepared for a question in your life, Jamie.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
Small point on that. Not the big point, but small point. She was so prepared for
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, she's supposed to be prepared.
That's why I
Jamie.
said you've never seen someone
You know
more
why?
prepared.
For that,
They're
for that
prepared.
specific question.
He didn't need a panel, a stylist, or scripted sass. Just a mic, a little sanity, and maybe some elk jerky on the side. His verdict? Straight fire. This lawsuit wasn't a sign of weakness. It was war. A necessary clapback. A line drawn deep in the sand that shouted, "You don't get to wreck someone's name on live TV just because your ratings are slipping." So what kicked all this off? A segment where Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and whichever intern got tossed into the guest seat decided to casually drag Karoline Leavitt's political background like it was part of a comedy sketch. No. Debate. No real questions, just a public roast disguised as harmless commentary. But let's call it what it was. Casual defamation dressed up in designer talk show clothes. What's wild is that this kind of mess gets a total free pass, just because it's served with a side of cackling and applause from the live studio crowd. Joy Behar, always quick to mistake volume for truth, slammed Karoline as dangerous. Dangerous for what, exactly? For having a clear point of view and the guts to say it out loud? If that's the new standard, then apparently anyone who's read the Constitution is now a national threat. Then came Whoopi, armed with her usual combo of smug side eyes and off-brand enlightenment. It sounds like it was ripped straight off a Whole Foods vision board. She has this uncanny ability to say everything and nothing at once, floating above the conversation